Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy, man. It's Kyle, Kyottte. We back out here for day 6, and we're going to continue working on this mantelpiece. What I want to show y'all real quick is this is like the old school, like stud finders, basically. So if you have like an outlet or something like that, then you can figure out what side it's on. You can do like the knocking method, hollow, solid. Or you know it's going to be on one side or the other of it. And these usually nail right to the side of a stud. So if you go over about 3/4, then you can take a nail or something or a screw and you can feel it hit that stud. You'll know if it don't hit the stud, which I don't want to do it right here by this, but yeah, you can drill it in there and you'll better pull it right out the sheetrock. Once you do that, you can hook it. You can mark your 16s. Hopefully they did it on 16-inch centers. If not, that's okay. This is just a fireplace. And another thing you can use is typically, you know, there's cripples that go in here. So they may have studs right on the side of this. All right, let's get started. All right, and just to elaborate on the part where you have the cripples here, typically you'll have 2 cripples on the side with a header here, and then you'll have studs that go up there. And that way, if it's a barren wall or anything, it won't bow this out into this. And your cripples, you know, go on side with your header, and then got king studs that go up there. So let's see if they did this or not. Take them screw. None. Let me go over a little more with it. Yep, that one hit. So that one's a little bit over. Let me see if the 16s work really fast too. Yep. Oh, nope, not that one. Might be over here. Nope. Let me see if I can find it on this side. Nope, I'm gonna have to play around and find those. Sometimes it be like that. Also, another step that I did before I turned the camera on was I checked this for level, and it was dead on level. And then also, if y'all remember how the tile, when I showed you in the last video, how we had the gap against the wall back here because this wall has a bow in it. Well, I just found out it could be because they ain't got all the studs in there. Anyway, though, I also marked the bottom of this all the way across. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna route out the back of that, roughly about a 1/2 inch depth or so. And I'll show y'all. So I'll mark underneath the bottom of it, and then I'll route this out a 1/2 inch depth, and then it'll make like a little step where this piece is gonna cap over this till about right there, all the way across level, and then it'll give us a nice clean line that we don't need any caulk or grout or anything on. All right, so let's go over a couple of ways on how we're going to get this dado accomplished. All right, so what I'm going to end up using is I'm going to use my rigid router right here. And I got a 3/4 inch dado bit on there is what they call it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it set. I know what I want my depth to be. I already got it marked at a 1/2 inch here just to show y'all for demonstration. You really don't need it with a router though, as long as you set the depth where you want it. All right, so I got my depth set, lock that into place, and then all I do is just follow my line on the top right there, and just route it out. The second way that you can do this if you don't have a router is you can use your skill saw, right? And then you have your attachment in the back where you lift this up. That allows your foot to go up and down so you can set the depth on it. And I typically set it on top of it, pull my guard up, let my guard hit the side, and then I pull it up to where it needs to be, set it, and then I know I'm only cutting that deep. So this way, I'll cut down this way, and that'll cut my 1/2 inch depth. And then when I swap it down to the side like this, I don't know if y'all can better see it, but then you just set your depth on the other side also. Let's get it cut. All right, let's go ahead and get it done. Oh, there is a arrow on this, just in case you was wondering. I'm gonna turn that speed up a little bit. I'm glad that happened because I'm gonna have to show y'all. So with this, the blade only goes up so far, so I'm actually gonna have to lower it, make one pass with it first at that height, and then make another pass. Okay, so this is what the second pass is going to look like. Let me go ahead and remark my 1/2 inch. And we got our 1/2 inch. Rinse and repeat. All right, so we done routed it out. I stuck that back up here for now. Looking good. That's how it's looking underneath. You can see that gap that we had in the tile is now gone. And it sits on there beautifully. Oh, yeah. All right, so we got both of those cut. We got it all routed out now. Now I'm gonna temporarily tack them together, see how they fit as a unit. I'm glad I did check these angles individually on each side because it did drop a little bit. Both sides, the 50 dropped to a 47, and the 47 on the opposite side, the right side, had dropped to a 44. So it's just little bows in the wall. Sometimes the sheetrock's not perfectly flat. It just depends on the builder. And all I did was flush up my long point to my short point on that side, which looks like I'm my hair off actually. So let me readjust them. Those are going to want to go back into the same hole. So I'll start a fresh one on this side and line it up, because it's only like 1/8 of an inch or so. That should hold it. See what it looks like. All right, let's go ahead and get it into place. We can see what it looks like. Voila. Now we just need the front piece to cap it. Let me go ahead and show y'all what the angles look like. Nice and tight, nice and tight. You can see right here is where I marked the 47, which would have been way off on that one by a good 1/4 inch. And then on this side, this one was a 50, and then we changed that to a 47 over here. Else it would have been a 1/4 inch gap also. All right, so this is one of the pieces that I've been waiting to get to. I love the character of this board. I love how it still has the old knobs, is what they call that, with the knob and the knob and tubing electric, and they used to stick it through there and connect to the next one, It was like this cloth wire and stuff that they had on there. And I mean, this is pretty much as old as electric, I would think. Pretty close anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this one cleaned up. I'm going to have to be very specific on this side here. Figure out exactly what my layout's going to be. Get my cut here and then transfer my mark there. Let's see what we get, y'all. All right, so I checked my angle and it was still 47. So all I did was I cut this one on the bevel of the 47. Went and checked it up against my wall. If you want to see how I did that, check out the last video. I go over all the instructions on how to get the perfect cut with that. With this one, I flipped it on the back side. I know that the long point on the other one is going to end up being my short point on this one. What I mean by that is it's going to go like that and continue. So I need to continue going that way. Clean that up and we're good to go. I'm just going to recut it. I seen I ended up a little short there. Now we flip it and clean up. All right, so if you caught me scratching my head at the last clip on what I was going to do here, I was trying to figure out how this was going to work, but the foot is hitting my knob right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my board again, clamp it back down, and I'm going to hook up my multi-tool, my oscillating tool, with a flush cut bit on it. And they call it a flush cut because it cuts it. It's going to cut it flush with it. You can run the blade with it, and it makes a nice flush cut. Also great for demo and stuff like that too. Nice, beautiful. All right, so we checked the angle on the opposite side, and it ended up staying at 44 degrees. So that works out. And what I did is I ran my tape to the short point on this side, because the side with the knobs is the long point on that side, going to face out. My number's 83, like the year I was born, so that's pretty fitting since I was born in New Orleans. Let's go, baby. I'm from the NO. Yeah, so anyway, I make my mark there, and then make sure I don't mess up my knob tube in there. So my back side is my short point of my number. Where's my crow's foot at? Is it on this side? It's on this side. Boom. Go ahead and square that across. And when you cut angles, skill saw, it's going to be cutting away from yourself, away from your board for your short point. Oh, that one came off nice, actually. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Ain't gonna hurt the rough cut look. We're gonna go ahead and give it a shot, see what it look like. All right, y'all. So we got the other piece on there, and that's what we're gonna look like pretty much whenever we're finished with it. I have the level up there propping it up because I only put one little small screw in there, and this is way heavier than one screw, obviously. But you see the detail in it. All the cuts fit great. And yeah, just a little bit of assembling with the right screws. Yeah, we're good to go. All right, so let me show y'all what we got going on right here with the mantle. So what I have here already set up, yes, I have these lag screws that I kept telling you about that I'm gonna end up using. So they're gonna go this way into the wall because this is the backside where we routed it. So they're gonna go through here and they're gonna go into the wall, into the studs where we marked those out. And also I'm gonna use them to hold the back piece to this top piece right here. And I've already marked out where I want to put them and how many. I'm gonna use 4. Get set up for my pre-drill. You know, you check your bit, you put this on the side of it, you make sure that it doesn't go past the shaft. This will be the first one. And it's easier to pre-drill, keeps your screws going straight. And they're also easier to drive. And then on these, I don't think it matters too much. But I have these for when I get to the other side, I'll show you. And that's where I'm gonna make my hole like that, where I can sink these into the board a little more when they get more of a grab. These aren't too bad because they're right flat next to each other. And yeah, just drill that in and we're good to go. Change my bit. Look how smooth. Like a glove. Saying I just sunk that one flat a little bit. And I'm gonna do it for the rest of them. All right, so we got all that together. Now this is flipping where this is the front side. This is the back side where it's been routed at. And this is gonna be in between the other piece caps over there. So I want to get to this first while I can, because I think it's going to be the best way to install. Just remember when you're doing these, I'm going to try to hit about center. And remember we got that 1/2 inch, so you don't want to hit the tile with it. Now I'll do the same process where I pre-drill it. And you can also see I have my board lifted up. So my drill bit, when it goes through, doesn't hit the floor. All right, next I'm gonna grab my spade bit here, which I checked like that to make sure that the head would fit in good. And I'm gonna do something called countersinking it. I'm gonna go to this line, it's about a 1/2 inch. And all I wanna do is drill it out till I hit that line right there. And now, got a beautiful countersink hole where this is now going to sit like that, which is going to allow me to make this screw get more meat into the studs. And I'm going to rinse and repeat a couple more times. All right, so we have all of those drilled. We have the heads where they're ready to be countersunk. I have my lag screws right here. And I lined up my holes, of course, with where I found my studs at in the wall. So let's go ahead and get this up here. That's one. Two. Three. All right. I don't have my table saw with me, so I made a little jig so we can cut up a sample of what the back's gonna look like. All right, so this is gonna be my stopping point for today. We got the mantle up right there. It's completed now. Next step is I'm gonna work on the back here. And what I'm thinking is I'm gonna make my own shiplap out of this reclaimed lumber. This is just a couple of sample pieces up there, just to give an idea of what it may look like. It may change, but this is what I'm gonna go with right now. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and go hunt down my table saw and my dado blades, so I can see if I can make these rabbets a little easier to do, and we can get it done. But I'm not gonna mess with it trying to cut it all with the skill saw by hand, because yeah, that's a few pieces that I'm gonna need right there. And also, my camera had cut off. So, what I wanted to show y'all was right there. Those are just little caps on there. They're not that big. I believe it showed you that when you take the cap off, there's a screw, like a lag screw, that goes on the inside of there. Then the cap goes over it for decoration. We use those a lot for like pergolas and anything with like big beams or anything. Uh, there used to be Osco. I'm not sure what the set is now. They stopped selling those in our area. But yeah, I'm gonna go hunt down this table saw and clean up over here, and we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Peace. All right, so I thought that this was gonna look a lot better if I went ahead and pulled another one of those knobs off of the other board, and I was able to get it without breaking it. And then I'll put it here. That way they all look even. Boom, and we got that done. Oh yeah, little details make the difference. Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy, man. It's Kyle, Kyottte, back out here for day 7. So really today I just got a little bit of bonus footage for y'all. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I'm doing. See if y'all can guess where this tile is gonna go. It's just gonna be 2 pieces that I have right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I cut it real quick, and then we'll mix it up and get ready to stick it. Until then, y'all try to figure out where it's going. All right, so I want y'all to notice whenever I am cutting this tile that I'm gonna start right here on my edge and get this edge kind of cut real slowly. And then I'm kind of scarring it as I'm going through, and I'm just working a little bit at a time. And then once I get so close to over here, I jump back to over here and cut this edge, because sometimes if that tile will break on you, it'll take off this whole top enamel piece. And so that's just a way, by scarring it and cutting your edges first before you cut all the way through, is a way to get it to not break on you. Beautiful. Y'all see? You see what happens if you don't clean your bucket? And this is just from me sponging the grout off and wiping it down that last time. And it still gets in there, and it's such fine grains, and it hardens. But that's why it's best to do it right after. This has been sitting for a couple days. But I'm doing thin set, so. All right, so have y'all guessed what it's for yet? Well, you got a little bit more time to figure that out while I back butter them. Tick tock, tick tock. All right, time's up. It's been about 5 minutes for me. I don't know how long that is for y'all, maybe a few seconds, but time's up, and this is where we're going with them, baby. We're gonna stick them on there, some flanks to the side of here, and add to that little bottom part of the ledge there. They also had like a little sheetrock spot in the back that looked nasty, so we're gonna cover that in the process. And we just used some drops that we had off the other pieces and try to match them up best as possible. Let's see what they look like. All right, so let's go ahead and slap these up over here. Start with this side first. I already have my two little spacers down here that I'm gonna use. Stick one right there. Stick the other one about right there. One side. And there's the other side. Y'all let me know what you think down below in the comments. Good idea, bad idea. And I still have to trim it out with this, of course, which I think helps give it like a whole different look. So, all right, y'all. So we got our tiles stuck on there. Looking good, looking good. What it do, Big Lou? He trying to get out the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got this on there. But next time we come back, we'll end up grouting. It'll be after Christmas because you know, I want to do the shiplap up here, and I still have to go mill it all myself because I'm gonna be making it out of like these timbers here. Where I'm gonna rip these in half. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna rip it in half. You can kind of see what I did on that one. Rip them in half, and then make the shiplap. Rabbit all the little edges in there, and make the shiplap. And then we'll come back and install it. Yeah, we're not gonna skip no steps here. Got my bucket, got my water, got my sponge. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this down. It'll be clean. Pretty much ready for the grout. All right, so last thing on this video right here is I'm grabbing all of the lumber and I'm taking it and I'm bringing it back across with me, and I'll mill all of the shiplap on the North Shore and then bring it back over here after Christmas. But as I was going through the lumber, I remembered some pieces that I had. My original project with this wood was to make like a coffee table or something. So if that's something that y'all may be interested in seeing, let me know. But basically the coffee table, the way that it's going to go is I have it notched out with the timbers here. And then this hits like that and locks into place there. And then of course, it would do the same thing on this side. On this side with the angle cut right, but the angle's not. And that would end up being, you know, the corner. And so the legs would sit at a 45 to the table instead of running with them like they normally do at the corner. I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea to try. I'll glue this back. Y'all let me know down in the comments if something y'all want to see. If so, then maybe next year, 2026, that'll be one of the projects I'll be doing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, help your boy out. If y'all appreciate the content, then, you know, please do any of that. Tune in for some more, and yeah, I'll be back. Peace. All right, y'all. So this is where we're stopping at for today. The homeowner had asked me to throw up a picture for her, so it'll have some decoration until we get done with the shiplap. So we'll stop right here, and we'll be back after Christmas to finish this off. And like I said before, please, if y'all don't mind, subscribe, like, comment, share. All of that helps the algorithm, and all of that helps your boy where I can get more content out to people and more people can see it. Thank y'all. Appreciate it in advance.
Peace.